When LeBron James speaks about the challenges he's faced throughout his legendary career, basketball fans listen. Recently, on the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, James revealed something that shocked even his most dedicated followers: the single most mentally and physically taxing playoff series he's ever experienced. The revelation came during a raw, unfiltered conversation about playoff basketball. When Nash asked James about the most grueling series of his career, the King didn't hesitate. The answer? The 2012 Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics.
Obviously, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals versus Boston. I was in Miami, and obviously, the Boston had their big three, and I always say the big four because Rondo was so damn good as well.
This admission might surprise many fans who would have expected James to cite one of his NBA Finals battles. Perhaps the 2016 comeback against the 73-win Warriors. Maybe the 2013 7-game war with the Spurs. But no, it was this confrontation with the Celtics that pushed James to his absolute limits. The 2012 Eastern Conference Finals stands as a pivotal moment in James's storied career. The series went the full 7 games with dramatic swings of momentum that tested both teams to their breaking points. Miami started strong, winning the first 2 games at home. The Celtics, showcasing their championship DNA, responded by winning 3 consecutive games, putting the Heat on the brink of elimination. Their backs against the wall, Miami would need to win Game 6 in Boston, one of the most intimidating environments in basketball, just to force a Game 7.
And we go down 3-2 after losing a home game. Going into Boston, which is one of the places that you just don't want to be going there for a closeout game.
What followed was one of the greatest performances in playoff history. What made this series so brutal for James wasn't just the physical toll, it was the mental chess match that unfolded over those 7 games.
You already know what, KG is bringing to the game, his intensity. You know what Rondo's bringing to the game, and the rest of that group, they just brought so much out of you.
The Celtics lineup featured some of the most mentally tough competitors in NBA history. Kevin Garnett, known for his relentless intensity and psychological warfare. Paul Pierce, a clutch performer who had previously gotten the better of James in playoff matchups. Ray Allen, one of the greatest shooters ever, and Rajon Rondo, who was playing at an all-world level.
Right.
Not only from a physical toll, but from a mental standpoint too, because they have so many guys out there that can do so many things. So
the statistics tell an incredible story of how much was placed on James's shoulders. Across the 7-game series, he averaged a staggering 33.6 points, 11 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.3 blocks. These numbers don't just represent excellence, they represent a player carrying an extraordinary burden. By the end of it all, James was completely drained.
At the end of that series, you was just like, I just want to sleep. I know I'm not going to be able to.
Right.
You know that. You're not
gonna, time anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it just takes so much out of you mentally.
Yeah.
When discussing the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6 stands apart as perhaps the defining moment of LeBron's career to that point. Facing elimination in Boston, with everything on the line, James delivered a performance for the ages. 45 points and 15 rebounds, shooting with remarkable efficiency. He made 10 of his first 11 shots, scoring 30 points in the first half alone. The normally raucous Boston crowd was stunned into silence. What many fans don't know is what was going through James's mind heading into that crucial game. In a separate Instagram Live session in 2020, James revealed a shocking fear that had been weighing on him. James said, "My mentality was, if we lose, Heat President Pat Riley may break us all up, and I didn't want that. It might be the quickest breakup in basketball history." This wasn't just about a playoff series, it was about the entire Miami Heat experiment potentially falling apart after just 2 seasons. The pressure was immense, and James felt it acutely. James explained, "Not only might they break it all up, but my legacy is going to take a huge hit if I don't go out here and perform at an all-time high." Game 6 also highlighted the strategic dimensions of playoff basketball that make it so mentally taxing. Miami coach Eric Spoelstra implemented a crucial adjustment that would help swing the series. Spoelstra's video coordinator, now lead assistant coach, Dan Craig, prepared footage showing how James had dominated when playing from the mid and high post areas against Boston during the regular season. They designed their Game 6 game plan around getting James in these positions. The adjustment worked brilliantly. James's series of turnaround jumpers from the post area got Pierce off balance and into foul trouble early. When the Celtics sent other defenders, James methodically picked them apart. This exemplifies what James described on the podcast about the mental challenges of playoff basketball.
It comes with preparation before the series. It comes with getting into the film, really breaking it down now, seeing, ways they've guarded players, ways they've guarded you throughout the regular season. How many different ways can they switch it up, and also just always being ready, and, like you said, me being ahead of the snake, you have to always be ready, and because they could guard you one way in the first quarter, they could switch it up in the second quarter, guard you a different way in the third, and in the fourth quarter it could be totally different.
The 2012 Eastern Conference Finals represented a crucial moment for James's legacy. He had faced significant criticism after previous playoff failures, the 2010 exit with Cleveland against those same Celtics, and the 2011 Finals collapse against Dallas. James acknowledged this context on the podcast, discussing how previous playoff disappointments shaped his approach.
My experience my second year in Miami, losing that year before gave me enough experience to know how to handle adversity even more.
Right.
How to go into Boston for a Game 6 down 3-2, and everybody is saying that this is over.
Yeah.
After a stellar Game 6, James followed up with more heroics in Game 7. With the score deadlocked after 3 quarters, he scored 11 points in a 28-15 Heat fourth quarter to close out the Celtics, earning a trip to the finals against Oklahoma City. The Heat would go on to defeat the Thunder 4-1, giving James his first NBA championship. The exhaustion from the Boston series was so profound that it initially seemed like Oklahoma City might sweep Miami, but the Heat found their second wind. Now at 40 years old and in his 22nd season, James's perspective on playoff basketball has been shaped by these battles. On the podcast, he expressed how the postseason represents everything to him at this stage of his career.
Listen, at this point in my career, the regular season is fun, it's cool, all right, but I just only care about the playoffs.
It's a drug.
Yeah, the moment, I'm all about the process. And I will always be about the process and to get to this point. But the postseason, when you have an opportunity, if you have a chance to win it, right, and you have the team to have a chance, it doesn't always result into winning it. Right. But if you have a chance and you have a fighting chance of walking into this ring and say, we can beat anyone. We can beat anyone. We know we have to play close to perfect basketballs. Obviously we know that, and takes a lot of luck in the postseason. We understand that, but when it comes to playoff basketball, man, it's definitely a drug for sure.
James compared the regular season to a marathon and the playoffs to a sprint, a concentrated period of maximum effort where every possession matters.
Yeah, you go from. It would be the same if a runner, hey, for 6 months. You're running a marathon.
Right.
6-8 months, you're training for the marathon.
Yeah. Trying to get through it.
You're just trying to get through it. You're running a marathon for 8 months. On the back end, for those last 2 months, now you're running a sprint.
Right. Great analogy.
You are running a 100-meter yard dash.
The mental toll of playoff basketball comes not just from the intensity of the games, but from the pressure of the moment. Every possession becomes magnified. Every mistake can be the difference between winning and losing. For James, that pressure has become something he not only accepts, but craves. When Steve Nash asked him about still having that drive at 40 years old, James's response was revealing.
I think you just said it. Until you overcome the pressure moment, you have no idea if you can do it.
Right.
It's kind of terrifying.
Right.
You get into those pressure moments and it's like, I don't know if I can overcome this, or I don't know if this is too big for me, or whatever the case may be. However, the human body or the human mind tricks you.
Right.
And then you're able to do that, and then you're able to stack that and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And it doesn't always result in win, loss, or draw.
Now, years after that brutal 2012 series, James finds playoff pressure intoxicating.
For me to be at this point in my career, 2 decades plus into this, and still have an opportunity to play in the postseason and know that I'm a big part of the puzzle, it's worth losing sleep over.
Our goal is to win championship. That's our only goal, and I think we have the team for that. Obviously, the chemistry with me and the guys, is going to take a little time still, but like you saw today, I think it's getting better and better.
LeBron James delivered a crystal-clear message about Luka Doncic's role in the upcoming playoffs. This isn't just any ordinary teammate dynamic. This is LeBron James giving Luka Doncic direct instructions on how they're going to pursue championship glory. The Los Angeles Lakers are locked and loaded for their high-stakes first-round matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After securing the number 1 3 seed with a solid 50-32 record, the Lakers are eyeing their 18th championship banner. And LeBron isn't mincing words about how they'll get there. The playoffs are a different beast, James declared during post-practice media availability. When reporters pressed him about integrating Doncic into the postseason game plan, LeBron said, offensively, give Luka the ball. That's it. That's the game plan from the king himself.
Everything. The playoffs demand everything from you mentally. Obviously, the physical toll that it's going to take because the games ramp up, the intensity ramps up, the physicality ramps up. The referees in the league allow us to play more physical, in the postseason, so your body takes a toll. But mentally, being able to have that mind, sharp throughout the course of a series, no matter if it's good or going bad, you always got to try to stay even keeled throughout the course of a postseason in each series if you're able to advance. So, absolutely.
He didn't stop there, adding his championship philosophy.
Dave McMenamin.
21 games so far between you and Luka. What layers have you been able to find offensively compared to the initial chemistry you built?
Offensively, give Luka the ball, and if we stay ready, we never got to get ready. All right, for sure.
This marks a crucial milestone for the Lakers franchise, their first direct playoff berth since the play-in tournament was introduced. No more fighting their way in. This team earned their spot outright. LeBron knows a thing or two about playoff success with 18 postseason runs under his belt. Entering his 288th playoff game, James emphasized what truly matters when championship aspirations are on the line.
Obviously, you want to be healthy going into a postseason run. That's most important. And then you want to be able to be playing at a high level, for the majority of the season. And being in must-win games, going down the stretch, playoff type intensity games, and we had that. But at the end of the day, so I can talk as much as you guys want me to talk, but the game is won in between the 4 lines.
But here's where LeBron gets real about playoff basketball. No fluff, no excuses, just winning basketball.
So I can talk as much as you guys want me to talk, but the game is won in between the 4 lines. I don't give a damn how much you know about a team, how much they know about you, all the talking. It's not about that. It's about once you get on the floor, the game is won in between the 4 lines. So you get a game plan, you got to execute it. They're going to try to stop our game plan, vice versa. That's what it comes down to.
The LeBron-Luka connection has transformed the Lakers into legitimate title contenders overnight. Their first assist connection, a 70-foot outlet pass from Doncic to James for an easy layup. That's how natural this partnership has been from day one. It's kind of a pick your poison when you have two brainiacs when it comes to the game of basketball on the floor at the same time. James said, acknowledging the basketball IQ that both stars bring to the court. Those long touchdown passes have become a trademark of their partnership, happening at least once per game, showcasing Doncic's rebounding prowess, his exceptional passing skills, and how the James-Doncic connection has elevated the Lakers to championship contention. The numbers don't lie. After acquiring Doncic on February 2nd, the Lakers went 22-13, including an impressive 18-10 with Doncic in the lineup. In the 23 games they played together, the Lakers were 15-8, scoring 116.1 points and allowing 114.1 points per 100 possessions. That's championship caliber production, Here's where LeBron's message gets even clearer. He's not just saying give Luka the ball, he's laying out the entire offensive structure for playoff success. In order for us to be the team ultimately we need to be, the ball needs to be in Luka's hands, James told reporters in March. And then when Luka sits down, the ball can be in my hands or be in Austin Reeves' hands. This isn't ego. This is basketball genius at work. But I'm very comfortable playing off the ball and finding my spots, running the floor, getting the outlet pass from Luka, being on the backside of the defense if he's either being blitzed in pick and rolls or switched in pick and rolls. He attracts so many eyes and bodies. The 40-year-old James, who turns 41 later this year in December, understands what it takes to win. He's seeking his 5th championship, having last won with the Lakers in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. Minnesota coach Chris Finch has painful memories of facing Doncic. His team lost to Dallas in last year's conference finals in 5 games, with Luka averaging a staggering 32.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, 8.2 assists, and 2.2 steals while shooting 47.3% from the field, 43.4% on three-pointers, and 84.6% on free throws. He's still the same amazing player, Finch said. When the ball's in his hands, he controls so much of the game in the way it's played, so we've got to do a better job of disrupting that. Finch also recognizes the impossible choice his defense faces. You can't just commit to running around multiple guys at the ball, because now you're giving maybe the best player in the game to ever have played James the chance to pick you apart in space. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. Doncic has been phenomenal in his 28 games with the Lakers, averaging 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 1.6 steals while shooting 43.8% from the field, 37.9% on three-pointers, and 79.1% from the free throw line. Their on-court chemistry has produced signature wins in a 123-100 victory against Denver. Doncic had 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals, while James contributed 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. Against Minnesota, a preview of their upcoming series, James delivered 33 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists, while Doncic added 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists in a 111-102 win. In Doncic's emotional return to Dallas, he exploded for 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, with James adding 27 points and 7 rebounds. LeBron hasn't played alongside a shotmaker and playmaker of this caliber since his days with Kyrie Irving in Cleveland during the 2016-17 season. Lakers rookie coach J.J. Redick fully endorses LeBron's vision for maximizing the duo's potential. I think Luka needs to be the guy that controls the offense, Redick stated. And Bron and AR, because we're going to stagger everybody, they're going to have their times to be on the ball. But all 3 of those guys are very intelligent basketball players, and we can create mismatches. We can get teams in the blender. The Lakers' rotational strategy keeps either James or Doncic on the court at nearly all times, creating relentless pressure on opposing defenses. In the 23 games where both stars played, the Lakers scored 122.2 points and allowed just 99 points per 100 possessions when Doncic was on the court without James. An astounding plus 23.2 net rating. With James on and Doncic off, the Lakers scored 106.6 points and allowed 113.2 points per 100 possessions. How does Doncic feel about sharing the court with LeBron James? His response was both concise and powerful. I mean, it's LeBron.
Luka, be yourself. Don't fit in, fit the out, be yourself.
LeBron has long called you one of his favorite players in the NBA. How has he reinforced that?
It's been great since the first day, I mean, it's LeBron. It's not going to be easy. He's been letting me be me this whole time, and it's been amazing just to watch him and to play next to him.
Those 4 simple words convey the magnitude of this partnership. Doncic, who led Dallas to the NBA Finals last season against Boston, now has a 4-time NBA champion by his side. The 26-year-old Slovenian understands this opportunity could deliver his first championship ring. His confidence is evident as the playoffs approach. The goal is to win a championship, Doncic told reporters. I think we have a great team. We have guys that are willing to go to war. Everybody is staying together. The chemistry is high, so I think we for sure have a chance.
And oftentimes I talk to players who were there, and they spend the entire offseason with the faces of the players that beat them. How does that loss fuel this championship pursuit?
You've been there, you could have won, but you lost. So you want to be a champion. I mean, I want to be a champion, and that's all you can think about after you lose. And it was devastating.